Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rafecal. This, as you hopefully know by now, is the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past Randomizer. I'm doing another open run. I've been doing a lot of other videos recently. I just wanted something that wasn't really connected with everything else. Just throwing another run on. Haven't done one in a while. I actually wasn't intending to do an open run, but I accidentally pushed it, and now we're gonna do it. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where the accessible chests and stuff are. We're probably gonna save quit out a couple times, and I'm probably gonna do this in 2 segments. I was originally gonna do one, figuring that I would be able to get it done really quickly, and then I remembered how long these actually take, and then I accidentally clicked open. For those who are not familiar with these, first of all, welcome to the channel. There's like a bazillion more of them. Second, it is Link to the Past, except every chest in the game, every place where you can get a major item, like NPCs, quest rewards, stuff like that, drops like that, are randomized. The idea is to go through the game as fast as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and pop to Sanctuary. Another chest. Apparently we get Quake. So yeah, basically the entire game is a giant logic puzzle. The goal is to figure out where to go next. So like right now we have a bunch of rupees and Quake, which is not a whole lot to go on. But what we know from that is we need to go to places where there are treasure chests that you can get without having, without requiring any items. So we're gonna start off with Lost Woods. There's 2 items here. I should probably have gone down and done the basic escape, gone down to where your uncle is. Okay. I am probably going to, since I'm already over here, head down to Kakariko if I don't find some bombs soon, and buy some bombs, because I've found 5 20 rupee pickups and Quake so far. This is a weird seed to start out with. But yes, the goal is to go as fast as you can. Most of the time, I am racing against myself and against my friend Mike, who occasionally will post his times on here, but usually we just share that privately. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the bombs. We're gonna check this one real quick first, just to be safe. There are some other open treasure chests still, but there's nothing wrong with having bombs. Bombs are a good thing. Okay, so we've got the lamp. That doesn't actually help. It does give us a path, but we need some other items to go with it for it to be a good path. Okay, bombs. Now we're gonna clear the rest of Kakariko Village. We're gonna wander over and do the dam, most likely, and the escape. Hopefully we'll find some more rupees so we can get the bottle vendor. That's the one downside about getting those bombs. I will laugh my ass off if he has some bombs and the bottle vendor. Oh well. Bow. That's a really good early pickup. There are several dungeons that require the bow, and we need it at the end for Ganon. A lot of times, if those dungeons aren't required, we end up just looking or praying for it. Sword, good. Picking up all the rupee containers because we want them. Those are hearts, I believe. Lion's house. There's the rupees I needed. Just need a little bit more. Lots of pieces of heart. That's really unfortunate. Master Sword already. That's probably actually a bad sign. It'll be useful. But a lot of times early Master Sword means that we're gonna have to fight Aghanim to get into the Dark World. Not always. That is a good investment. Okay, so that takes care of most of that. We're gonna go stop and check the library quick. And the race game. Piece of heart, not important. We're gonna bounce back up to Sanctuary. I didn't check the woodcutter's house, which was probably a mistake. We're gonna go over here real quick, check the race item. It's more rupees, we're good. Save and quit out. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Link's house. We're gonna do the front part of the escape. There's a chance we can do the whole escape, there's a chance we can't. It depends completely. I just remembered I have a sword. I was trying to be all careful and dodge that guy, and then I remembered that I could hit him with my sword. So yeah, the open map that we did means that it throws the sword into the random pool, and you don't basically get to skip the intro, which is nice when you've played the intro as many times as I have at this point. We're gonna get these so we can use magic. That is what they're for. We are going to go into the basement where you get Zelda, because there is a treasure chest there. Then we're going to start the sewer. We may end up save quitting out. The key situation in the sewer is weird. Those are always hearts. We want full hearts for this. It makes the fights a little bit easier with the Master Sword. Ugh. We are almost set for rupees for the game. We really don't have a reason to fight any of these guys, so we're just gonna keep going. The main reason I want the Master Sword with the beam is for the ball and chain boss. We're probably gonna do the pot and then some sword swings. It's just a little safer. Not that I'm super worried with already having some hearts and having Master Sword, but oh well. Okay, so if we get a key here... As I stop using the beam and run right into him after talking about how it was going to be safer. Okay, we'll go ahead. We don't have a key, so that means that we do want to do the front half of the sewer. There's a chance we'll pick up a key, there's a chance we'll pick up something like the map. Skip the guys. Shimmy along the wall. Go the other way. And check those sewers. We still have a couple chests near Lake Hylia that we can get. Nothing in that room. This room that we're coming... Not this one. The next one has the treasure chest. That was really unnecessary to kill all those snakes, and if Mike ends up beating me by a few seconds, I'm gonna be really grumpy with myself. I'm also playing this later than I probably should. Okay, that is as far as we can go from that end. I think we can get the rest. We'll start in Sanctuary. Check in with the priest quick. Get that. I can't remember if you can do it from here or if you have to get the power bracelet first. Yeah, you need power bracelet first. It's that gravestone right there. Yeah. I was just checking. I should probably check what the dungeons are we have to do are gonna be. One of the other things that gets switched is the dungeons, the requirements. Our goal is to beat Ganon. That means we need to get all the pendants. That does not mean we need to beat every dungeon. You don't need the medallions. We already have the Master Sword. The pedestal where the Master Sword is can have a required item, but it does not always have a required item. So it looks like we're probably going to have to do Palace, Eastern Palace, unless we find another item. That would actually have been really nice to get. Use some arrows. Which we're going to get 5 here, 1 at the next location, so we're going to have 6 items to draw on, as it were, before we end up having to start doing dungeons. We don't actually have access to any of the Light World dungeons right now, except Palace of Darkness, or Eastern Palace, rather. Oh my gosh, Moon Pearl, that really is leaning towards Aghanim. Which Eastern Palace requires the bow, which we have, but it's also a pendant dungeon, not a... not a crystal. Okay, I need to be careful. If I get hit again, especially if it's by a crab, I am dead. Okay, now we can take a hit at least. Ice Cavern. That was the Sanctuary Heart. The one that's normally found in the Sanctuary after your escape. You can tell because it actually started refilling my hearts. There's one heart container in the game that refills your hearts. Pieces of heart will always refill your hearts. A normal heart container does not. Because most of them are found at the end of levels, and your hearts refill after that anyway. We're gonna do Sahasrara. We really are probably gonna have to do Aghanim here, and I'm debating strongly whether I should do Aghanim right away or whether I should go through Eastern first. If I find like the Book of Medora or the flute, no. Well, let's see. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do Eastern. It's not as fast. If I end up getting to skip Aghanim, it's way faster. This gets me, or nets me a couple items. I think it's just like 2 or 3, but it is also the green pendant, which means it's the pendant that's normally found in this dungeon, which means you can get an item from Sahasrara. And if I happen to, like I said, found something like the flute as I'm going through this dungeon, I will probably abandon it. That's really unfortunate. Yeah. That was a mistake. Can't remember if any of these have arrows. I really need to get some arrow pickups before I get too far in this dungeon, or I'm going to be very disappointed. Big key. We might be able to skip the last section with the part where the big key normally is. That area you can, which is to the right of the big chest, if you're on the lower section. That section has 1 treasure chest in it, and if we narrow down what the missing items are, we may be able to skip it. Like if we found the map, or if we don't have the map and compass left, pretty much. That was a really bad room. Nope, we're gonna have to do it. We'll still check the big chest. Arrows. There's the map, just to spite me. We'll go through this section quick. We've got the lamp, so we don't have to do this in the dark. This is one of the few sections of the game I can do if I didn't have the lantern. The lantern will never be required. I guess I didn't really explain that part. The game has a logic engine built in that the items will always be placed in a way that you will never not be able to progress somewhere. So it will never put like a key behind a locked door. It will never put the fire rod in an area that requires the fire rod. It will never put the, like, that's why it is the logic puzzle that it is. We have the bow. Oh my, I'm okay with this decision. That was the tempered sword. So now we've got level 3 sword to go fight Aghanim. That makes the tower way easier. This is the room I can't do in the dark. But yeah, basically, the game has safeguards in place so that it should always be beatable. It's well tested. They've tweaked some of the percentage chances of getting items. You'll always get keys within the dungeon that they're for, that sort of thing. Each dungeon has the correct number of small keys still. They may be in different places, but they still have their same number. And they always have the map and the compass. I'm gonna go ahead and grab lots of arrows. 28, that should be fine. I just want to make sure. Not having arrows for this boss is very slow. If we had silvers, that'd be better, but we don't, so we're just gonna do the 3 per Armos. Pendant. We full cleared the dungeon. We got tempered sword, which is not required by any means, but that means, or that could actually still save us a lot of time. And we still have one more item to pick up, because we can go deliver the pendant to Sahasrahla and get an item from him, which will be randomized like everything else. If it happens to be the boots, which is the vanilla item for it, that's great. It's not. I wasn't expecting it to be, but it would have been neat. Okay, so we have to fight Aghanim. Desert Cave's technically still there. I've kicked myself over the Desert Cave more than once, but I'm pretty sure Aghanim opens up a lot regardless. Like, we get the whole Dark World overworld. We really need, like, flippers, power bracelet, stuff like that to get to the next stage. So this is going to put us on the pyramid once we're done, which is nice. We get an item right off the bat, which is really out of the way otherwise. I don't think I mean, there's not a ton of areas that we can explore in the Dark World, but sometimes that's all you need is the one. Normally, those guys take several hits. Tempered Sword 1. So that's the reason I was talking about it like that. It's very useful for this. You're supposed to have Master Sword when you do this area. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about getting lost here in the maze. I know I've done it before plenty of times. I've done it in the dark plenty of times. I don't want to worry about it. I just want to go and and still get lost despite having it in front of me and being able to see. I'm good at this game, I swear. I'm not actually good at this game. Pots do the same damage as the tempered sword, ironically, which is about 3 times the damage as the standard fighter's sword. The blue guards start out taking 3 hits, they take 1 from the tempered. Red guards, I think, take 4 hits, 4 or 5 from the fighter's sword, so they still take 2 hits. I really don't need to keep picking up all the rupees that I'm getting. Which probably just shows how out of practice I'm getting at this right now. I haven't done as many Zelda runs as I was doing it earlier. One of my worst habits that I had to break was killing everything and picking up every item even when I didn't need it. And I found myself doing that a couple times already during this run. Like the snakes right off the bat. Okay. Going to Aghanim's room. We're going to go around to the side right away because he triggers animation when you get to a certain point in the room, which is basically lined up with the top of the stairs. So since you have to go around anyway, it's easier to go around first. Saves a couple seconds. And we always want to approach from the side against Aghanim. That's basically the goal. And we really want him to throw as few blue projectiles as possible. Oh my gosh, I really wish that one of the earlier versions of the randomizer took out the blue projectiles completely. And it is my favorite thing in the world. Because this fight can be so tedious otherwise. It's not like it's hard, it's just tedious. And random. And while this is a Zelda randomizer, we don't want that part to be random. The point of using the same seed is that everyone who's playing it should have the same luck. Everything's in the same place. But there's still some random elements like when Aghanim throws his projectiles, and the lightning's consistent. The projectiles aren't. This hasn't been terrible. I think we've had 4 blue. There we go. 4 blue's not terrible. It's just annoying. We've got the Moon Pearl, so we can go into the Dark World. We get a full heal, and I believe until we get the mirror, we can still save quit out into the light world. That is not helpful. We really don't have... Yeah. So, looks like Dark Palace is a crystal dungeon. We don't have to do Ice Palace or Blind. Blind is unfortunate, because Blind is a dungeon that we're 9 times out of 10 gonna want to do anyway, because it's so short. Ice Palace I'm okay with skipping. The only downside with Ice Palace as a requirement is the items that are required for Ice Palace are always required for other dungeons. It doesn't have any unique items, so we don't have to skip, or we don't have any items we can skip. We still have to find every item. Well, not every item, but all the required items like Hookshot, Fire Rod, Ice Rod, bow. There's a fairly long list of required items between all the dungeons, but those are the main ones. Hammer. I don't have hammer. But this is one of the only areas I actually have access to, so unless it's in Desert Cave, I'm either going to find it here, or I'm going to find something else that I'm going to be able to use to get into another dungeon. So I'm pretty sure there's no other areas that I can get access to from where I'm at. And that you don't actually need the hammer for most of this dungeon, so it makes sense. But having the lamp and the bow makes complete sense for most of this dungeon. Basically the whole front half. And come over here, get this chest, the big key right away. I need some small keys, so we're gonna go ahead and jump off here. That should get us a small key. Just to be clear, like I've said before, a lot of this is random. It's just when you start to notice the patterns, you start to be able to predict where some of the stuff is, how some of the stuff works. This area requires several bombs and some arrows. You have to have the bow to get through, but it doesn't require keys, which there is, I believe, one more treasure chest here. Normally, this is where you go at the end, but since we don't have enough small keys, we're just going to go do this real quick. It'll let us get through to basically to where the big chest is and to some of the other stuff. This is 2 keys. Unfortunately, we have to walk back out. But we have 3 keys, which is actually really good. Most of the time, that's a lot of keys to have all at once, especially this early in this dungeon. Which means that the stuff we're looking for, the actual items, are probably going to be coming up. This will take us back to the entrance. Push this out of the way. We're going to finish this section. Because it requires a key. We have enough. This is basically going to take us right back where we were, Titans, or not Titans, but Power Glove. That's awesome. That's what we needed. Even if we don't get the hammer, we have access to a lot now. So if we do get the hammer, we can finish this dungeon and move on. If we don't get the hammer, we're gonna save quit out, and we're gonna head for Death Mountain. I'm very glad I have the Tempered Sword for this section. Okay, there's the last small key. We do have access to another section after this, so. But this has a treasure chest and or 2 treasure chests, I think. And the big chest is in this area. hate these mazes. Cape, actual item. Not terribly useful. It does unlock one spot, and it's just a useful item in certain fights, especially if you don't have... we don't have blue mail or red mail yet. Oh my god. That escalated quickly. So we just got both lift upgrades in this one dungeon. That opens up a lot. Silver arrows. I think this is all we're going to be able to get. We're probably going to be able to do... Yep. We'll be able to finish this section, and then we're going to have to leave. We've got all the small keys now. I'm pretty sure we've got everything. So yeah. Pretty sure this is going to be either the map or the compass. And we can't get access to the rest of the dungeon. But we got what we needed for now. We'll have to come back. The big problem is we'll have to come back. Okay, so we're gonna start off this next section with can you pull it? No, you gotta push it. I'm gonna start off by just doing this real quick. This is going to be, I'm guessing, key, map, and item. Nope, no map. Did we get the map? Yeah, we did. Never mind. Darn. So this is the back entrance to the sewer. Most people don't know how to do this, but it's how you get back in to get that one, I didn't know how to do it for a long time, that's the reason I say that. But it's how you get it back in to get the free treasure chests in the normal game, because you don't get bombs until later. Okay, that's there. I'm gonna go ahead and... Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the front part of Death Mountain real quick. We don't have the mirror. So it's basically just rescuing the old man and checking Spectacle Rock. But... Oh, we could do Spike Cave. Random. I mean, we have access to a ton now. This is just the first thing that came to mind. And honestly, it's probably not the most efficient thing to do, but I don't really care right now. It's something we're gonna eventually have to do, unless we got the flute where we could skip this, but you have to do this cave regardless. I'm gonna rescue the old man. I'm probably gonna take a break after that. I said I was gonna break it into parts. I started this a little later than was probably a good idea as far as my thinking capacity goes. But yeah, this will get us to a point where we can start back on Death Mountain, which is important and is going to make coming back to Death Mountain a lot easier. We're gonna check the Spectacle Rock item quick. Ice Rod on top. Rupee inside. I'm not 100% sure we can pull it off with the number of hearts we've got. But let's give it a shot. At worst, we die. Which I'm going to save quit after this. You don't need the hammer for that. Never mind. Yep. See, like I said, probably not in the best mental state, but I wanted to give it a go. So, if you're enjoying this, give this video a like and subscribe. Check out the other videos in the series. There are a million of these Zelda videos. I'm playing Disgaea right now, doing Hearthstone videos. There's a lot. Feel free to leave any questions or suggestions in the comments. Have a good one. We'll pick this back up shortly.